What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a little bit of work on the Tahoe. So unfortunately, driving the car home from work yesterday, the Tahoe decided to throw the belt. Don't know why. And of course, I get over to the side of the road and I cannot figure out how to get the belt back on the thing. I spent almost an hour trying to figure out how to route the belt back on this thing, and finally got it back on, and it was squeaking real bad. So need to get it in here, check the pulleys, do all that kind of stuff. Have a new HD belt to go on it. So first time the Tahoe has ever left me on the side of the road. For those of you that don't know, the Tahoe is a 5.3 4L60E truck. LSA supercharged, cam, headers, all that kind of good stuff. The transmission is an RPM transmissions, level 6 plus, with a Yank 2800 SS converter in it. So I'm gonna get the truck in here real quick. We're gonna look everything over and put it back together. And then I've got some more news to go along with that. All right, so here's the LSA Tahoe. I guess I can go over this real quick. So like I said, 5.3 stock bottom end. So it has ARP rod bolts and new GM pistons in it when I did the rebuild about 20,000 miles ago. LSA supercharger with a 255 upper on it. And then I have an ice tank over here that runs with a stock ZL1 heat exchanger pump and a stock ZL1 heat exchanger behind the grill. So the lid for this is off of a ZL1. It has meth nozzles on it, but I never hooked them up. This is the belt system. So it's from LS Simple. A little on the inexpensive side, which is good. The bad part is it took me a while to get this system on there. So the kit didn't come with any instructions. So I had belt issues from the minute I put it on until I was able to get a hold of the owner of LS Simple, and we went over where all the spacers are supposed to go. And what ended up being the issue is the power steering pump. There were 3 little spacers that were supposed to go behind it, and I didn't have them. So ended up putting those on, no problem ever since. So the LSA supercharger has been on here for almost 2 years, and this is the first issue that I've ever had. You know, supercharged trucks, cars, whatever, you expect to have belt issues. It happens. I always keep a spare belt in the back of this thing with a wrench to put it on. It really wasn't a big deal that it happened. The big deal was that I forgot how to route the belt, and I'm on Google trying to find stuff to make it happen, and I couldn't find anything. Finally, it clicked, figured it out. We're going to throw the new belt on this thing real quick after we check all the pulleys, and then we should be good to go. All right, so something else I think that's worth mentioning is this is the belt that I run. It's a 6-rib belt, and it's about 18 feet long. So I'm putting this belt under a lot of stress, turning the blower, especially because it's overdriven. So the blower spins pretty hard. This truck makes 9 pounds of boost, made 530 rear wheel horsepower on E85. Let's check these pulleys, get this thing on there, and fire it back up. So checking pulleys, everything up here is new except the power steering pump, and that's it, actually. So the water pump's new, the alternator's new, AC and all that stuff runs off of a separate belt down here. So basically all we need to do is just spin these pulleys, see if they squeak, give them a wiggle, make sure the bearings aren't worn out. If everything checks out, we should be good to go. Everything looks good, so now for the tricky part, I have to remember again how this belt route's on here. belt back on. I'll show you guys where I got confused, was how it's routed right here. This is what killed me on the side of the road last week. I could not remember how this belt went around the blower and around these idlers and tensioner. That side of the engine I had figured out. This side is where I got messed up, and I couldn't figure out why the belt was so long. Finally figured it out. That didn't take too long for me to get back on. All right, so that's basically it. Truck's really reliable. I'm happy with it. That being said, here is the news. The Tahoe is going up for sale. So I'm working on some other things. Need to free up a little bit of cash. I don't drive this truck enough to justify keeping it, and I've had it for a lot of years too. So started out completely stock, then I put a rebuilt motor in it with a few good parts, then I put a transmission in it, then I did the supercharger, then I did the transmission again. I've rebuilt the rear end. It's got all good stuff in it. Detroit True Track posi with AEM gears, so the truck has a lot of good parts in it. So stay tuned. I'm going to do like a whole walkthrough of the truck, go over every piece and part that's on it when I put it up for sale. So be watching for this. If anyone is looking for a Supercharged Tahoe, this one's done. Everything's been done. The only upgrade that I might do if I were to keep the truck was go from a 6-rib to an 8-rib setup, something a little bit wider. I've never had an issue with belt slip, but I know the belt gets tortured being driven. So that's about it, guys. Like I said, I'm working on a few things. Need to free up some cash, so I'm going to start another build, even though I have the Packard and the Cadillac and all that stuff. I don't have anything that I come home on and work on every night, so I just sit on the couch and watch TV. So I need to produce some more content for you guys, do some fun stuff for me, and I like being out here and doing that kind of stuff, and I like when you guys get to watch the videos. So stay tuned, looking at new projects, Tahoe going up for sale, gonna do another big build project. So as always, guys, I want to thank you for watching, and don't forget you can find High PSI TV merchandise. There's a link in the description below. And be sure you comment on this video too, give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and we'll see you next time.